The great German Jesuit theologian, Father Karl Rahner, said that most of us die with symphonies unfinished. The symphony, of course, is Christ. We are destined to bring Christ alive, each in our own way, that is uniquely ours. And so often we fail abysmally. My dear friends, while we are on earth, we are to become Christ and play the melody. And the melody is always played in the key of C, because there are no flats and no sharps. And there's a 5-finger exercise. The first C is contact. There can be no contact with our Lord in me without faith. Faith was what our Lord demanded when he was on earth. He never worked any miracles without faith. It was because of her faith that Magdalene had her sins forgiven. How can you and I go to confession without faith? Or receive our Lord in Holy Communion without faith? Or pray without faith? And it isn't how I feel. It's a question of truth and fact. St. Bernard said, when I feel farthest away from the Lord, then I am nearest to him. The second C is conflict. I have discovered the Lord within me, and now I have to learn his ways and do his will. And that's a conflict because of my selfishness, because of my self-will, because of wanting my own way. The Lord's way doesn't always make sense to me. My dear friend, what am I trying to do at this moment? To make our Lord known and loved by you. And what is the best way to do that? With my Irish gift of the gab, impress you? Suppose the Lord wanted me to fail, not to be able to put 2 words together. Am I willing to accept his way? St. Francis said that for him, perfect joy would be to go to a friary and to be attacked by the superior and thrown in the snow and left there for half dead. That for him would be perfect joy, because it would bring our Lord and himself together more really. The third C is conversion and conversation. I forget so easily and so quickly. I need to return to the fact our Lord is in me, wanting to teach me how to live and how to love. And I must remind myself of that 1,000 times every day. In all the comings and the goings, I must remember I am not alone. I am not lost in the crowd. I mean everything to him. And that I must try to allow him to possess me. And the fourth C is cooperation. That I will cooperate with him in every way I can. Just as each particle of the sacred host contains our Lord really and truly, so each little happening in my day brings him to me and brings me to him if I am aware, if I am sensitive, if I am conscious, if I am truly alive in him and try to strengthen the bond. And the final C is contribution. That somehow I will bring something of his life and his loveliness into the world. Graham Greene wrote a famous play called The Living Room, the story of a priest who lived with his 2 sisters. He was confined to a wheelchair as the result of an accident 25 years before. His sisters were very pious, read spiritual books every day. One day their world was shattered because their niece came to live with them. She was not pious. She was not interested in spiritual reading. And every afternoon she went out and spent a few hours without coming home. The maid spied on her and said she went to the home of the lawyer. They confronted her. She admitted she was in love with him, and that she was guilty of sin. The sisters were horrified. They asked her to leave their home. Before she did, she went in to her uncle the priest, and she sobbed out her story. Later he said, all she should have had to do was to come into my presence to find the Lord. She came seeking hope, all she found was despair. She came seeking him, and all she found was me. St. Francis told his friars to preach and to use words if they needed. My dear friends, the symphony that you and I have to achieve on this earth is to try to bring the Lord alive, each in our own way. And surely the prayer of Cardinal Newman, which was the prayer of Mother Teresa and the prayer of many noble men and women. Teach me, O Lord, to bring you alive. Flood my soul with your spirit and life. Penetrate and possess my whole being so utterly that all my life may be only a radiance of thine. Shine through me and be so in me that every soul I come in contact with may feel your presence in my soul. Let them look up and see no longer me, but only Jesus. God bless you all.